York's classic rock, Q104.3.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Wow, we're in a secret location in New York City with a woman who has, just a few Grammys, 50 million albums sold. The new album, I'll hold it up right here. Oh,
Oh, that hurts.
okay, here it is. It was worth it. Look at this album cover. It's Sheryl Crow. Welcome, Sheryl. How are you?
Thank you. I'm so great.
Yes, you are. You are.
Well, so to speak.
Beacon Theater, June 28th, which is going to be awesome. We're all going to be there. I've been playing your songs on 3 different radio stations for 20 years. That's
Bless
how long.
you. Bless you, my child.
And I was
Ye
lucky
shall
enough.
be rewarded.
Okay. I was lucky enough to see your show the other night at the Bowery Ballroom. You guys just kicked ass.
Thank you. There were some asses to kick there.
Yeah.
I have to say.
I
And
mean,
they were
look-
right there with us.
Look, normally you play much bigger places. So why you guys look like you were all we got the whole band here. You guys look like you were having so much fun.
We weren't. We're actors. No, I'm kidding.
There
We
was
had
a
a blast.
huge brawl backstage.
We played 2.5 hours, and I really thought we'd played about an hour and a half. You know, maybe right at an hour and a half. But it was a blast. And there's nothing like having people right there, and everybody was singing the old songs, and they were trying to sing the new songs, and it was just joy, joy, joy. Loved it.
It was so great. And now Pete, where's Pete? How long has Pete been with you guys?
72 years, I think it is. No, 20.
Going on 20.
Going on 20.
Wow.
He knows where all the dead bodies are buried.
And introduce everyone else here too.
This is Fred Eltringham, or Butt Rock Erlingtonham, and Robert Kearns over on the guitar, but usually he's on bass. But whatevs.
Well, thank you guys for
He's
doing this.
amazeballs.
You look exactly the same. So what is it? Is it good genes? Is it from your parents?
Oh, I've had tons of work done.
Oh, come on.
I'm kidding.
But is it chasing your kids around? I mean, how do you do it? You look exactly the same.
Oh gosh, thanks, Jonathan. I just look really good on radio and on Facebook Live. I don't know. I mean, I have good genes, definitely. My mom and dad. My dad's 85. He still plays in a rock band called The Usual
Tell me about
Suspects.
your dad. Wait a second. You taught him a few chords, and now he's just off
No,
touring?
actually, he picked up the guitar probably 20 years ago and taught himself some stuff. And then when he retired a few years back, I gave him a guitar just really to kind of keep him busy. And I mean, it wasn't even a second. He was in a band, and they were
Wow.
playing at BB King's. So
B.B. King's.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I know. He's
What'd you give him, a Gibson or something?
I gave him a Sheryl Crow signature model, if you must know.
Boom.
And then I got him a telly. I didn't realize he could play, so then we got him a telly and some amps, and so
he's out there?
He's like the kid that has the rehearsal space and the instruments. So all the kids in town are like, "Let's go over to Wendell Crow's and jam, man."
We are with Sheryl Crow, the new album, Be Myself. She's going to be at the Beacon Theater June 28th. You've had almost every success imaginable. Concerts with or recorded with pretty much a who's who of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame members over the years. 3 Beatles, Prince, Eric Clapton, Willie, Sting, Tony Bennett. I mean, the list goes on and on. So a girl from a small town in Missouri who was actually a school teacher at one point. When these things started happening to you as your career progressed, was it hard to keep your cool and not be completely starstruck when you were working with these people?
I didn't actually really let myself. I didn't really let myself stop and even process that. And now that I've gotten older, it's really emotional for me to actually. I mean, I know this sounds very deep and heady, but it is. I mean, I have little kids now, and I've had the time now to reflect on the last 25 years, and it's phenomenal to me that, I mean, I grew up in a little tiny town in the middle of nowhere, and to be able to have met my heroes and to be able to have worked with such amazing people, and I mean, I tell people all the time, I tell kids particularly, you can go out and do whatever it is you set your mind to, whatever it is you dream. I was raised by parents who said, if you work hard and you're a good person, good things will happen for you. And I do believe that, to a certain extent, there are going to be things along the way that feel like they're catastrophic. But, I do believe in that. I think it's just staying in the process and being awake and being present. And you just would be amazed what can happen for you.
Can you indulge me about Prince? Because today's kind of a special day. It's not a special day, but it's a day. It's an anniversary. He actually really loved one of your songs, "Every Day Is a Winding Road."
Yeah, he did.
And I and
He recorded it, and it was kind of funny because he changed the last verse, the lyrics. I've been living on a sea of anarchy. I've been living on coffee and nicotine, and he changed it to something in herbal tea. I can't remember what it was, and it just kind of struck me because he, he was a mystery to everyone.
yeah,
He had this kind of sexual image, but he also had this profound humility when it came to God. Like he was a very spiritual person.
Jehovah's, right?
Jehovah's Witness. And so he just was always like a conundrum to me. But I loved him. I loved how youthful he was in his love for what he did. And,
Yeah. Well, there's
and
video.
also his you talk about a divinely ordained talent. The guy
Yeah.
could play anything like out of this world. I've
Right.
never known a guy who with that kind of musicianship.
Yeah, there's actually video of you guys performing that, I think, in a few locations. "Every Day Is a Winding
Okay,
Road."
do you want to hear something weird about that though? Is that, and I didn't realize it until Peter pointed. I think it was you that pointed it out. Was that I think it was like maybe in the same couple of weeks, David Bowie died and Prince died, and that video surfaced, and I'm wearing a David Bowie T-shirt,
Oh my God!
which is really interesting. But anyway,
It's Sheryl Crow with us.
snore.
So when
Interesting to me.
when he passed away, like a year ago, what crossed your mind?
Oh well, it wasn't a year ago. It was in August, in August or July or August last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean a lot of things. I think the world was shocked, but for me personally, I just felt sad. I felt like there was a big hole in the world, and like the ozone had been punctured, and somebody slipped out. And he for me represented a lot of things. Like I had that moment of I wish I would have reached out. You got to tell people every day that you love them. That feeling of, oh, geez, I wish I would have. And then the other part of it was seeing all that footage of him and witnessing his childlike enthusiasm and love of music. That juxtaposed with all the ugliness that was going on during the election. So you're watching this news cycle of just heinous hate rhetoric, and then you see these clips of this guy who clearly was having anesthetized himself because of the pain, but every time he played, this thing came out of him. So we wound up writing a song called "I Don't Want to Grow Up," really inspired by him, his
Yeah.
passing.
It's Sheryl Crow with us, and the new album, of course, "Be Myself," Beacon Theater, June 28th here in New York City. You've pretty much had every kind of success imaginable. Is it really now about just writing a good song and enjoying that process?
Well, it was always about writing a good song, and I've always felt like my best work's in front of me. But I'm more excited about it now, and I think largely because of my age. I love the fact that I don't love the fact that commercial radio is exactly that. It's commercials. They play stuff that's gonna keep the commercials paying for the station, and so it's heavily programmed, and they're not gonna play music that isn't geared towards a certain demographic. But for me, it's kind of liberating because it just means I can write for grown-ups and really love it and enjoy it and know that there is a huge population of people that feel the way that I do and that still like to rock out and dance and have fun, but that care about the things that we care about as grown-ups and citizens and blah, blah, blah.
And this new album kind of sounds like a little throwback to the early days. I mean, we got some of the guys in the band from back in the day, and you actually worked with some of the guys on this album that you worked with back in the day as well.
Yeah, it wasn't so much a bunch of guys. It was actually Jeff on guitar and me on bass and a fantastic drum programmer, this guy named Andrew Petroff, but sitting in a room and just writing. And then we got to have buddies come in and overdub some sweet parts and things like that. But I think largely the record sounds like that early stuff because of the combination of that. That's the way Jeff and I made those first few records. Not the first one, but the second, third, fourth records.
Tell me about the barn that you have. You have a barn
Yeah,
at your house.
it's a horse barn.
Yeah.
We have horses downstairs. We have a lot of dogs, and there's a saloon downstairs that has Guinness on tap, and then upstairs was going to be a writing room. And but by the time we soundproofed it from the horses, and also so the horses didn't have to hear us, it actually became a studio. And that's where we recorded.
Is it hard for you not to go in there every day and just like, oh, wow, I have a studio there. I'm going to go record something.
No, it's not really like that. I mean, I don't know if it's like that for other people, but I don't like die to hold myself up in a studio and browbeat myself until I get a great lyric. That's not the thing I can't wait to do. But I did really enjoy this process because I was yearning to have this kind of musical fun experience and to do something that felt like it was quick and honest and off the cuff and also between school hours.
Yes.
Not every quote unquote rock star works between 8:30 and 4 in the afternoon, but that's the way we made this record and it worked out great.
Wait, do you have a minivan?
Yeah, I do.
You do have a.
I rock
See,
the minivan.
I like minivans because they have the automatic doors,
Oh man, I'm all about my minivan.
and there's a lot of
And
leg room.
I have a hybrid and a minivan.
Oh, good for you. Title track, "Be Myself," the new album. You guys want to play it?
No.
Okay,
Oh yeah, I guess we will.
that's it.
Yeah, we will. This song is really became sort of the corner piece of the record, just kind of by virtue of the fact that it says everything. It's like if I can't be someone else, I may as well be myself. Like that's a consolation prize. And by the end of the song, you realize it's kind of a celebration when you figure out who you are. So
Awesome.
it's-
I saw my string today, said, "Girl, I can't help you. I've been seeing you so long, but nothing has
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for playing that. It was really, really good. We are with Sheryl Crow in the studio, in a secret studio, and the new album is Be Myself. She's playing the Beacon Theater June 28th. So I heard this rumor that you recently recorded with some guy named Keith Richards.
I did. Yes.
Can you
People
tell
don't
us
know
about-
about him yet. He's getting a start in the music
He's got a
business.
future, right?
And yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, I actually called him and said I have always wanted to record the song "The Worst" that he wrote, and I said, "Will you do it with me?" And he did, and we hung out at Germano Studios for 2 days, and it was just. It was a girl from Missouri's dream come true.
So where is this song going to be? Is it going to be?
It's going to be on a record near you, probably coming out next year.
On a Rolling Stones record?
No, it's going to be on my record, and I'm making a record with Steve Jordan. It's fantastic, drummer /
Another
producer.
expensive wino.
Another expensive wino, yes. And it'll be out probably next spring, and it's a record that's very collaborative with a lot of people I've loved my whole life that I just called in the favors and said, will you come record with me? And he was one of my first
There
calls.
you go. One more rock star question, if you don't mind. Johnny Cash, you recorded with him, and he also recorded one of your songs, right?
Yes.
Tell us about
that. He recorded a song called Redemption Day shortly after June passed, and so which was obviously a very big thrill for me. Spent some time with him, and then when we were making this record, he was one of the people that I guess has meant so much to me in my life, and we called his family and said, hey, could we use that demo, use the vocal from the demo, which no one's heard, and re-record the song. So we did, and we have a posthumous recording with Johnny Cash.
I always think of that photo of Johnny with Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis and Carl Perkins, the big four there.
Sun Studios.
So the new album is fantastic. So you're down in Nashville. Most of the time these days, I guess, and Nashville and Tennessee, one could safely say, is a red state. And you're in like a little, maybe an oasis of blue. And this past election year obviously affected you with this album, and particularly this song, Halfway There. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, from my perspective, I first thought it was a relationship song. And then I got further into it, and I said, wait a second. It's like, okay, you might be a conservative, you might be a liberal, you might be an independent, but can't we all get along?
Yeah, I mean, it is a relationship song. I've had a lot of people say, I thought it was about a relationship, and it really is. It's about people not being able to have a conversation anymore where our differences are concerned without it becoming so heated and vitriolic. And this election for me really scared me because if it's an indicator of who we're becoming as a civilization, it's worrisome. We have got to figure out a way to coexist with making the assumption that we all, are God's creatures and that we all want the same things. At the end of the day, obviously we want peace. We need food. We need water. We need love. And outside of the real basics, we've got to figure out a way to navigate through our differences.
There's a great animated video for this song on your website, SherylCrow.com. Cats and dogs shaking hands.
And Gary Clarke Jr. played on it. And,
Gary Clarke Jr. is on this record.
He makes an appearance. Yeah, he's fantastic.
He is fantastic. Okay, so everybody, Sheryl Crow's new album, Be Myself, it is out today, so go and get it. And go see her at the Beacon Theater and on tour
come out
throughout
and
this
see us.
year. SherylCrow.com. Sheryl, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jonathan.
New York's classic rock, Q104.3.